And that is Kelly Kulick arriving this morning here at Red Rock Lanes. Today, the 32-year-old from Union, New Jersey, seeks to become the first woman to win a PBA event. And that event just happens to be the second major of the season, the Tournament of Champions. Full house today here at Red Rock Lanes and Casino in Las Vegas for the 45th edition of PBA's signature event, the TOC. And here are your four finalists. Chris Barnes is your #1 seed as he seeks his third major of his Hall of Fame-worthy career. Kulick, just the second woman to ever make a PBA telecast. The Big Fin, Mika Koivuniemi, seeks his first TOC title. And your 4 seed, 26-year-old Rhino Page, was the runner-up here last year. Paige versus Major Mika will kick us off. The winner versus 2 seed Kelly Kulick. Chris Barnes waits up top for his title match. And glad you're with us for an historic day, not just for bowling, but for female athletics as a whole. Rob Stone, joined by 13-time titleist Randy Peterson. By virtue of winning the Women's World Championship at the World Series of Bowling in the fall, Kelly Kulick earned the privilege to become the first woman to ever participate in this tournament. Now she's on the verge of joining some of the most illustrious female names in athletics. We're talking names like Ann Donovan, Danica Patrick, and yes, even Billie Jean King. This is a truly wonderful story, punctuated, Randy, by the fact that the odds were so stacked against her coming into this week.
Well, they really were. You know, nobody gave Kelly a chance to win this event. Even Kelly didn't think she could win this event for a number of reasons. Number one, the sheer number of games that are bowled this week. 48 games in 3 days. The format, round-robin match play, 24 games of that where every one of your opponents is a champion. And then also the pressures of trying to win a Tournament of Champions. You know, she came in with a nothing-to-lose attitude. And you know what, Rob? A lot of times when little is expected of you, great things happen.
Can she win it?
Absolutely.
Oh, it's a great story, and we'll be following it intensely throughout the night. A drama-filled Friday evening during the position round. Tony Reyes taking a seat. We haven't seen much of him lately. It was good to see him on the lanes. Had a great week. He was in second place, but his loss to Chris Barnes dropped him to 6th and out of the show. Then Mika Koivuniemi. His victory over Pete Weber vaulted Mika to 3rd. Rhino Page lost to Kelly Kulick, but had 1 pin more than Pete Weber to seal that 4th and final spot. Now it's time for Rhino to take on Mika in our first match.
He owns 3 Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour titles, the 2007-08 PBA Rookie of the Year from Dade City, Florida. Please welcome Rhino Page.
3 tour titles for Paige. 0 majors, was the runner-up here last year, falling in dramatic fashion to the eventual winner and fellow lefty, Patrick Allen. He said, last year's loss has been with me all week. It has kept me highly motivated, but today I'm not going to think about it at all. Late kick of the 7.
Rob, there's a couple of players on this telecast that could use a little self-redemption.
An 8-time winner, his first 2 majors, the 2000 USBC Masters and the 2001 US Open, the 2003-04 PBA Player of the Year from Heartland, Michigan. Please welcome Major Mika Koivuniemi.
Talk about Rhino Page, what happened to him last year against Patrick Allen. How about our tournament leader, Chris Barnes, losing to Michael Haugen Jr. by 1 pin in 2008.
And this is Barnes' best friend on the tour, Mika Koivuniemi.
He's making a fashion statement today, huh, Rob?
That's right. He lost a bet with Chris Barnes, his traveling roommate. Last year, when they faced each other on the show in Columbus, the loser had to wear a pair of pants picked by the winner. And so Mika has had these fine plaid/Madras Joseph A. Bank pants waiting for him for months. And here he is on his first television appearance since that bet. It happens to be a major. And he breaks out the fresh-looking trousers.
Rumor has it they were on sale.
back-to-back jacks from Major Mika. The big fin working the Clark Griswold look today. Yeah, he's got the white shoes. And if you pan up from the pants, he's got a fresh, clean, crisp white belt that he just bought yesterday as well. In fact, those pants delivered yesterday.
It's a great story.
They had been traveling with him the entire season, and the wife finally said, you know what, there's no need for these, so she left them behind, and here he is making the TV show. They had to fly in yesterday with his daughter. Rhino Page, bottom of the second. We've seen nothing but strikes thus far.
Rhino Page, our lone southpaw on the telecast today. And when we spoke with him last night, he said, guys, I'm going to get some charcoal out, sanded bowling balls, and I'm going to beat up the outside part of the lane and create a hook spot for me and me alone. See if that strategy works.
Paige picks up the spare, and here's Rhino on taking on Major Mika.
Success against Mika has been very high lately. I beat him twice in best of 7 in Detroit, and then I also beat him in match play this week. And he says, "You must like bowling me. You're not supposed to beat me. I'm lefty killer." And I said, "I'm just making up for the first 3 times I bowled you and you kicked my butt."
Here's Rhino to open up the third. Drops all 10. Mika Koivuniemi's nickname in the bowling circles. Lefty's worst nightmare.
Well, it was funny when we asked him about that yesterday. He said, "Oh, Rob, Randy, I love left-handers because I always beat them." I mean, there's one thing that a lot of people don't know about Mika. He's an extremely funny guy. He's got some great one-liners.
This is 6th top 20 finish of the season, 2nd in the top 10, his first televised show of this season. Mika can't get the 10 to drop, so his first spare opportunity here at the Tournament of Champions, the 2nd major of the season.
It's been a dry spell for him, though, Rob. He hasn't won since the 2007 Japan Cup in Tokyo. And, you know, when we asked him, you know, what's been the issues? And he says, you know, it's been a little of everything. Mental, physical, bad breaks.
Said the breaks finally went his way this week. First time he's seen that in a while.
Yeah, the stars were lined up for him this week. Got some nice breaks and took advantage of it.
And he has the other nickname of Major Mika. His first televised appearance, he won the 2000 Masters. His 3rd television appearance, he won the 2001 U.S. Open. Since then, empty in 5 majors when he qualified for the TV shows. His best TOC finish, as you just saw, 6th in 05 and 06. This will be his best, however. We begin the 4th with Mika. Way wide right. But an okay miss.
Yeah, and you know, that still falls under the category of good breaks. Flagging the head pin and not leaving a washout. See the profile of Mika, big high backswing, and this one is just missed at the bottom of the swing. He gets nothing on the bowling ball, and it's wide right, but only leaving the 1-2.
Takes care of that, so he remains clean, but back-to-back spares for Mika, providing an opening for Paige. Last year, Rhino Page was the number 2 seed here and was in great position to win his first major until a massive miss in the 10th. He was taking on his good buddy Patrick Allen. PBA won it when Paige missed the head pin. He needed just 9 and a spare to win and said 267, 263 for PA. Paige gets them all to drop in the 4th, his 3rd jack of this match.
Well, he's got a double now, but each of the last 2 shots were extremely light after leaving a 4-pin on this right lane. Remember, Rhino Page intentionally using a dull ball to create a hook spot for himself. It'll be interesting to see if he actually built the lanes up to where he likes them to be, or if he created what I call a wet-dry reaction, where if he gets it into the middle part of the lane a little bit too much, it's going to go too straight. If he gets it wide, it's going to overhook. Those fingers pulling out of the finger holes. You can see nails.
So for the first time today, he leads the 7-pin.
Yeah, this is a flat 7, Rob. Watch the 4-pin. It's going to go to the sidewall and just kind of lay there and not do its job. And that's just the ball hitting just a pinch weak. The adjustment for Rhino Page would be a little bit more hand, or just get the speed to soften up just a bit to get the ball to finish harder.
When you say a little bit more hand, what do you mean by that?
2 more revolutions. Give it the business at the release point, you know? Give it some more hand, some more paw.
Give it the business at the release point.
Yeah, give it the business.
I like that one. I'll have to remember that. So Rhino Page, up 2. Koivuniemi, up now in the bottom of the 5th. He started off with back-to-back strikes. Since then, a 9 spare, 8 spare. Here's his top finishes this season coming in to today's TOC. Last season, Mika was voted number 49 on the list of the 50 greatest bowlers in PBA history.
Great knee bend finish. Unfortunately, how many times do we see overcompensation after a player goes wide right? The tendency is to grab a little bit at the bottom, meaning the finger holes, and the ball goes high.
Plastic spare ball comes out. So now 3 spares in a row for Mika. And we're through 5.
Mika actually bowled in Finland during the Christmas New Year break and won
the Bowl Master.
Yeah, the biggest tournament in Europe, and actually beat Parker Bone III. So I think Mika had no problem with the language. Not so sure about Parker.
Yeah, he described the season in one word: tough. 3 weeks of success, but problems in match play. He's back on the strike train. All aboard. Koivuniemi down 4. We'll talk about Rhino's in-game DJing activities when ESPN's live coverage of the 2010 TOC returns. The PBA Tournament of Champions is brought to you by Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By Bear Aspirin, expect wonders. And by the United States Bowling Congress, the all-new bowl.com, your online source for all things bowling. Log on to bowl.com today. We welcome you back on a beautiful day here in Las Vegas. We are coming your way live from Red Rock Lanes here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Continuing coverage of the PBA Tournament of Champions, PBA's signature event. 16 Hall of Famers, 13 former Players of the Year, 19 of the 50 greatest all-time bowlers competed this week. Right now, Rhino Page, 4 better than Mika Koivuniemi through 5 frames. The winner of this one to take on number 2 seed Kelly Kulick, who's trying to become the first woman to ever win a PBA event. Paige working on a spare as we begin the 6th. hard right on him.
Remember what I talked about earlier? The ball reaction that he's trying to create, now it looks like he's created over-under reaction. He gets it wide, it overhooks like it did right there. He gets it inside, the ball tends to go really straight. Very tough ball reaction to deal with.
Does that mean a ball change is in his future or a foot adjustment?
It could be either or, but right now he needs to concentrate more on
taking care of his spares.
Yes, exactly. And an issue there with the approach. Let's see what happens with his footwork here. Is it a slip or is it a stick? That's a stick right there. He just came to a stop and actually caused him to miss the 2-4-7.
First open frame of our first match of the day.
Here's the ball change you were talking about, Rob.
Strike number 4 for Rhino. Time now for our Lumber Liquidators Know the Wood. This week, the Tournament of Champions oil pattern.
Well, Rob, this pattern is very flat, a 2-to-1 ratio at 39 feet in length. And talking to the players, they said there was 3 zones on the right side of the lane. You could play 5, 6, 7. You could play like 13 to 10, where Kelly Kulick played them all week. Or you can move in and play 4th and 5th arrow. Rhino Page is going to be just slightly in a first arrow on the left side.
Push.
See some of the other finishers scrolling down below as Koivuniemi gets his second pair of strikes in this opening match here at the Tournament of Champions.
Yeah, it was really tough to watch what happened to Tony Reyes in position round. Tony was in second, bowled a 150 game and went from second to 6th, dropped out of the show. And after working that hard all week long, boy, that was tough to watch. There's Jason Couch, winner of 3 TSCs in a row.
Danny Wiseman coming back, hasn't bowled really all season, coming in at 16th. We know his mom is going through some difficult rehab right now in Baltimore. She is watching. We wish her continued success on her rehab.
Last week's winner, Anthony Lacaze, making match play. Right now, Mika is giving Rhino Page the business. We talked about the 3 zones. Watch this. That was piped right up about the 7th board.
So Koivuniemi with 3 in a row. His wife and daughter watching. Back to Paige, down 30 in the 8th.
One time, Mop. One time. Really? So that one checks, and that one just goes straight through it.
Leaves double wood there.
Wow.
There's the underreaction I spoke about. That one just never gripped in the lane.
Thought about hooking.
And like you heard Rhino Page just say, that one never even thought about hooking.
Again, Paige, the runner-up here last year. Very difficult loss for him in the final to Patrick Allen. He learned some things from that. One of them, step off when you don't feel comfortable. Picks up that spare. Rhino Page, one of our favorites out here on the tour. He's got a lot of interesting little things that he does through the week. One of the things is he bowls with music in his head. He says, I got a song in my head playing all the time. On Friday night, it was some old school, some Earth, Wind, and Fire. Today's song, Black Eyed Peas. Tonight's going to be a good night. Needs to start picking up a little bit for him as he's in a 30-pin hole as we open up the foundation frame 9th. Strike number 5 for Paige.
Never know. Stranger things have happened in this building.
Yeah, and Rhino knows that all too well. He can strike out in the 10th frame now and shoot 215. Mika Koivuniemi is already in the 220s, which means what, Rob? He needs some help. He has to have an open frame by Mika Koivuniemi to have a chance of winning this match.
Only one open frame so far. That came from Paige in the 6th when he had the issues with his footing at the foul line. Missed the spare. Koivuniemi working on 3 in a row, looking for a 4-bagger.
Back.
That pretty much seals the deal right there. That puts Mika into the 230s. Good count. He'll be in the 220s, even with an open frame. Hit him thin and watch him spin.
So Mika steps up here. We'll close out in the 10th.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
5 in a row. He's on a roll.
Boy, Mika's trying to erase a couple of years in 1 week, and I think he could probably put the last couple of years to rest by winning a Tournament of Champions, and he's one step closer now with a victory over Rhino Page.
So up next, just the 2nd female to ever make a PBA telecast, Kelly Kulick. She's warming up a couple lanes behind us right now. 6 in a row. And Mika has got the look he wants right now on both lanes.
Yep, he's dialed in.
This is wife, Lena, taking it in. Why not? And you know what? Maybe those pants are bringing some good mojo.
GQ magazine, here comes Mika.
We were talking about it. Mika said, if I win, you know, these pants are staying with me for a while.
And what a nice year Rhino Page is having, though, Rob.
Sweet. Jam.
There's Kelly Kulick.
Need to check her heart rate.
So she's trying to control the breathing as we shoot her right now. She'll be taking on Mika Koivuniemi in our next match. There's 3 in a row for Paige, saying, where was that a few frames ago? Makes the adjustment, but a little bit too late.
Let's start with that ball.
Now, Rhino Page earned a couple more points here in his quest for Player of the Year.
Thank you, Vegas.
And that's all she wrote for Rhino Page.
Great ball, buddy. Good luck the rest of the way.
255, 215 in favor of Mika Koivuniemi. And we urge you to head on over to PBA.com to submit your More of What Matters to You fan question. The question sponsored by One A Day. Today will be directed to Chris Barnes. So have a question for our number 1 seed, Chris Barnes. If selected, your name and question will be read live and answered during today's telecast. Just head on over to PBA.com. Click on the One A Day logo. Up next, we will hear live from our number 2 seed, Kelly Kulick, as she seeks to become the first woman to ever win a PBA event.
We need 3 sets. 9 beyond the level, right here.
3 more, and he collects $10,000.
But not now. Number 11. Hold it, Jack.
Here is a $10,000 ball.
Let's watch this ball close, Ted. It's out. Hold it.
Listen to this crowd, ladies and gentlemen. Jack beyond the level. Houston, Texas. First 300 game on ABC's Pro Bowler Tour.
One of the many great TOC moments. Will Red Rock Casino and Lanes have another in store for you today? We welcome you back to ESPN's continuing coverage of the 2010 TOC. Kelly Kulick qualified for the TOC by winning the PBA Women's World Championship last year at the World Series of Bowling. So Kulick walked into Red Rock as the first ever female competitor in this event. She was third going into the final position round game, and she was taking on Rhino Page, who was your 4 seed today, and Kulick was strong. She had been strong all week. Kulick eventually win at 267-216, and moving up to the number 2 seed spot. So Kulick set to bowl, but first she talks live with our Randy Peterson.
Thanks, Rob. As Kelly Kulick continues to make history here at the Tournament of Champions. Kelly, describe what this magic carpet ride has been for you this week.
Magic carpet ride pretty much says it all. I feel like I've been flying above the clouds all week long from beginning to end, and it's just been a joyful ride. I'm happy to be here in this moment now, and I'm ready to go hit some pins.
Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Randy.
Rob, we know that Mika Koivuniemi is a lefty's worst nightmare. Let's see if he's going to be Kelly Kulick's worst nightmare.
So Kulick's assault on the history books will begin when we return. Our number 2 seed, Kelly Kulick, versus Mika Koivuniemi. Next, the winner to take on Chris Barnes for the TOC title.
Like the sirloin, chicken and pork too, all wrapped in bacon, and all for around $10.
Security!
And we are back live. ESPN's continuing coverage of the Tournament of Champions, and you are looking live at Kelly Kulick trying to make history today. Really, she already has, becoming just the second woman to ever make a PBA telecast. She's your number 2 seed. She's trying to become the first woman to ever win a PBA event, much less a major. Rarefied bowling air that she is breathing right now. The only other who has really done it, Liz Johnson. We'll talk about that in a moment. But first, Kelly Kulick making some last-second preparations as she gets set to take on Mika Koivuniemi, who will start us off. The winner to take on your number 1 seed, Chris Barnes. Nine strikes in his win over Paige, including the last 7 of his match.
Mika was doing a little bit of that last shot in practice. I watched a lot of balls go high. You can see that Mika's chasing and moving towards the center part of the lane as the oil pattern breaks down.
Had to only convert 3 spares in his last match, none of them of the challenging variety.
No, you're right.
The 2009 PBA Women's World Champion, 2007 USBC Queens winner, and 2003 US Open champion from Union, New Jersey. Please welcome Kelly Kulick.
Well, Randy, you talked to her live just a few minutes ago. What kind of impression did she give you as far as her heart rate, etc.?
Oh, there's definitely some adrenaline going right now.
Oh, yeah! That will help calm some nerves.
She's been so focused all week long. I mean, it's just incredible. No matter what adversity she faced, she just stepped up and got it done. You know, the last 8 games of match play, she was in 6. She shoots back-to-back 170s to start the last block of the tournament. And when it looked like she was not going to make the show, guess what? She changes balls, bowls a couple back-to-back 270s, beats Rhino Page in position round. Here she is on the show.
.2610.
Same thing Mika did on this left lane. Ball drifts high. Leaves a 3.610. Not an easy spare to shoot when you're having trouble breathing.
Nice pickup on the 3-6-10. And here's Kelly on the ramifications should she win a title. Frankly, they're unfathomable to her.
As I'm sitting here talking right now, my heart is starting to pound a little bit faster. The possibilities alone, what it would do for the sport of bowling, for the men's tour, for the possibility of a ladies tour, I can't even fathom that. Whatever happens today will by far be the biggest moment in my bowling career. And if I win, it will be a dream come true.
Koivuniemi, heavy there in the second. So Mika had that great conclusion to his opening match, getting the last 7 strikes in his win over Rhino Page. Now, having some issues on the left and the right. His first open frame of the day comes in the third.
Well, Rob, you talk about how many strikes he threw in the last match. In fact, he threw the last 7 in a row. Well, then the players got a lot of practice in between games. The oil pattern breaks down, and because of the way the lanes played this week, that zone is now gone. Mika Koivuniemi is going to have to move out of the zone he was in the first game. There was the move.
So his first strike of this second match of the day.
Our Cats numbers coming to us from the Kegel Training Center shows that Mika was around the 8th or 9th board throughout the entire match against Rhino Page. That last shot he just threw there, the 14th board. So a good 5-6 boards left for Mika.
Here's Kulick, her high score this week, a 279. Perfect pocket hit. Her second strike.
And Kelly found a home in that area of the lane. Her ball position right around the 12th board, feeds it out to about 8, 9, 10. And she was able to stay there pretty much the entire week when nobody else could.
In 2006, she became the first woman to earn an exemption here on the PBA Tour by finishing 6th in the PBA Tour Trials. And here she is, the first woman bowling in a major.
Good shot.
In watching Kelly most of Friday night, one of the things that impressed me the most about her game is how balanced she was at the foul line. And we all know that in any sport, good balance is key. It's vital. And boy, she threw shot after shot where she posted it up at the foul line and never lost balance. That's when you know you're in pure stroke.
She drops the 10, remains clean through 4. We mentioned Kelly, just the second woman to ever make a televised PBA telecast, the first. Liz Johnson. She did it in 2005, the Banquet Open in Wyoming, Michigan. Beat Westmallott, moved on to the title match, where she eventually lost to Tommy Jones. Here's Koivuniemi to close out the 4th. Back-to-back jacks for Mika now in the 3rd and the 4th.
First 2 shots of this match, the 8th board and the 9th board at the arrows. The last 2 are both at 14. Just a board right, a 3rd arrow.
We talked to Mika yesterday about the fact that he has 2 daughters, and there is Ida here watching. And I said, you know, who do you think the girls are going to be cheering for? You know, if you face Kelly, you or Dad. He said, they better cheer for me. If they don't, they can't come back home. And I'm not sure he was completely joking either. But he made a great line. He said, I see her as an opponent, not as a female. That one flew right around the 10.
Yeah, that's a ring in 10 when the 6 goes up and around the 10 pin. Looked like he got that one just a bit wide, which causes that ball to come in at a little sharper angle than Mika would like, and that's what causes the 6 to go around. Pretty good shot, though, when working on a double.
And Mika with an open frame in the second.
Mika taking some tape out of that spare ball. Remember the last time he had an issue trying to convert the 310. That one hung up. Well, it looked like it was going to be wide left, but it was lofted far enough and thrown hard enough to hold its line.
Kulick on top 5-4.
See where Kelly and Mika are playing. Mika left of Kelly Kulick. Higher rev rate for Mika and more ball speed. And here's the problem that Kelly Kulick's going to have.
I can't roll the ball.
She's playing right of Mika. Mika's throwing it right into her laydown area, okay? So what happens with Kelly is if she misses a fraction inside her target, she's missing into the dry part of the lane. The ball will never hold its line.
Picks up that spare. So if that line goes away, what are her options?
She needs to get in where Mika is.
Right now.
Just right on top of Mika and mirror what he's doing. It's not that big of a move. We're talking 3 boards on the lane, so it's probably a 6 and 3 move. 6 boards with her feet, 3 with her target.
Kelly averaged 225.63 throughout the course of the week. She dropped a 229 average in qualifying. She's up 2 in the 6th.
One time ball.
Late drop of the 7 pin.
I'll take it.
There's the move right there. The last shot on the right lane was on the 11th board. That one 14. It's exactly where Mika is. We've got a ball game.
When we return, the conclusion of Kulick and Koivuniemi. Plus, we'll tell you how the crowd affected Kulick all week here in Vegas. Kelly on top through 5.5. We welcome you back to Red Rock Lanes here in Las Vegas, Nevada. ESPN's continuing live coverage of the second major of the season, the Tournament of Champions. Thanks go out to Dennis Matthews, the general manager here at Red Rock Lanes, one of our favorite venues to get out here, not just because Randy gets to use the sauna and the steam room.
Which, of course, I love, and so do you. But that man right there, Dennis Matthews, is a great friend. He knows how to run a tournament, and he really takes care of the players. We love coming here.
So through 5.5, Kelly Kulick trying to become the first woman to ever win on the PBA Tour. 2 pins better than Mika Koivuniemi, the winner to take on your #1 seed, Chris Barnes, in our title match. Here is Mika Koivuniemi stepping up, bottom of the 6th in the right lane. He has struck just twice here in this match, once in the left, once on the right. Ooh, our first split of the day. And Mika doing some self-editing there.
Well, looking at the Cats numbers, this is around the 14th board, but maybe too much hand, and you see how it breaks loose down the lane and cuts right through the nose, leaving the 4-6.
First challenging shot of the day for Koivuniemi. Takes care of the 6.
And he falls farther behind now against everybody's favorite, the crowd favorite, Kelly Kulick. We're talking about the adjustments of the players going from one zone to the next. Remember the first match against Rhino Page. That's around the 8th board, just in between first and second arrow. That's right around third arrow. That's exactly the way the players played the oil pattern this week. Those were the adjustments they made. When one zone broke down, they had to move to another. And that is the same zone, but a ball change.
Third strike of this match for Koivuniemi. He takes a seat. Up comes Kelly Kulick, and she has been the crowd favorite here in Vegas all week long, Randy. She said, really kicked in when I rolled back-to-back 270s. You knew the crowd was behind me. We were talking to some of the staffers here who've been here all week, and they were back in the media room, and they knew what Kelly was doing just by the crowd reaction that they could hear lanes away, much less behind closed doors. And it reminded you, I'll get to this in a second, back-to-back jacks for Kulick now, and it reminded you of the old days when Earl Anthony was bowling.
It reminded me a lot of when Earl was bowling. It reminded me a lot of when Walter Ray is in the hunt to make shows. You always knew where those players were because of the amount of applause. They're the fan favorites.
How much does the crowd help you?
Oh man, it's like having home field advantage.
Can you put a pin number on it?
I say it's worth at least 12 pins a game. 12 pins a game.
Wow. That's
a lot.
That's hardy. Three in a row. No! Double messenger did not deliver.
Kelly Kulick looking to extend her lead, working on a double, throws a little boom, boom, pow, right at the 10 pin. 2 pins are at it. They both miss by that much.
Her second single pin spare conversion of this match.
Hey, Rob, let me just comment on why Kelly Kulick is able to do what she's doing. I mean, obviously, number one, she's got a lot of talent. But number two, she has the mental makeup to get her body to perform at the highest level. You got to have both. You can't just have a great physical game and no helmet. You've got to have the great mental game to go with it. Kelly Kulick has that.
Mika, 3 strikes in this game, just 1, though, on this right lane. That came in the 4th. Here he is, bottom of the 8th. Back-to-back jacks now for Mika.
And Mika is back.
Mika Koivuniemi won 2 majors in his first 3 televised appearances. Since then, he's been empty in the 5 majors in which he has qualified for the TV show. His best finish, again here at the TOC, was 6th back in 05 and 06. Can we still call him Major Mika?
I mean, once you have the nickname, you know, it pretty much stays with you for life, doesn't it?
I don't know. I think we can rescind it.
Are you going to change it to Minor Mika? Come on.
3 in a row!
And he's back in the ballgame now, folks. You heard him yell, "Latte." That means carry and finish. Mika Koivuniemi can strike out and shoot 223. But he can't shut out Kelly Kulick. She can still shoot 227. Watch this shot. A little less loft. Give it the business at the bottom of the swing. Shred the rack. That's a 3-bagger, my friend.
What did he yell?
Latte.
Oh, I thought he was ordering something from the barrister over there. So 3 in a row for Mika. Here's Kulick, bottom of the 9th, on the right lane. Well, she's had a lot of success on that right lane today and matches Mika with a huge jack of her own in the 9th. The lead at 4 for New Jersey's Kelly Kulick.
2 strikes in the 10th frame and 7 pins on her fill shot. She will bowl for the title against Chris Barnes. Watch her let go of this shot. You heard what she said. Nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. That's been her mantra the entire week.
4 strikes in this match.
Fearless.
Only one of them on the left lane, and that is where she will close out this match.
She is absolutely fearless.
She's a modern-day Annie Oakley.
Hey, do you think it's her week?
Come on, kiddo.
That ball didn't even look like it was going to get to the pocket.
It's hard not to cheer for her. Needs just 7 for the win and a move to the title match. Wow. Wow.
Well, it didn't get much better than this, Rob. That is 10 back, 10 in the pit. It's amazing what she has done this week, but it's not over. History in the making, Kelly Kulick, 7. She moves on to the title match.
She's done it! She moves on to take on your 1 seed, Chris Barnes, in the title match. 1 win away from history, and the crowd solidly in her corner. Breathe, Kelly, breathe. So our title match of the 45th edition of the PBA Tournament of Champions is set. That woman, Kelly Kulick, will take on our 1 seed, Chris Barnes. We'll hear live from our finalists next.
Imagine.
The PBA Tournament of Champions is brought to you by Track, Evolutionary, Revolutionary. By Columbia, Columbia bowls the world over. By Atonic, visit www.atonic.com/bowl. And by Barbazol. Enjoy the rush, America. New Barbazol Pacific Rush Shaving Cream. Kulick, last shot in the 10th, needing 7, drops them all, and moves on to the title match to take on our number 1 seed, Chris Barnes. And we welcome you back to ESPN's live coverage of the Tournament of Champions. Kelly Kulick trying to become the first woman to ever win a PBA event, and she is 1 step closer, courtesy of the 227-223 victory over Mika Koivuniemi. We go downstairs. Randy Peterson standing by live with our 2 finalists.
Thanks, Rob. Kelly, what a performance in the 10th frame. What were you thinking about when you got up, knowing what you needed to do to beat Mika?
I'm just trying to feel my legs getting to the foul line. I knew if I could just bowl like I did the last match in match play, it would be there. So be aggressive, throw the ball like I know how, and see what happens.
Thanks. Good luck in the title match. Chris, we all know how great a bowler your wife is, and I'm guessing you probably lost to her more than once. What are your thoughts going up against Kelly in the title match?
Well, really, gender doesn't have anything to do with it. You have enough talent to make a show out here. You got the goods, and she's proved it all week long. And so the fact that she's a woman doesn't really change the fact that I'm here to win the Tournament of Champions.
Chris, congrats. Thanks very much. Rob Stone, history in the making. Will Kelly Kulick become the first woman ever to win a title out here on the PBA Tour?
That's what we call a tease in the business, Randy. I like it. We remind you to head on over to PBA.com. Check out Extra Frame, the PBA's online video subscription service. It features hours of live competition from PBA events that you can't see anywhere else. Other features include some exclusive interviews and archived ESPN telecasts, and you know this one will fall into that category. Head on over to PBA.com to sign up today. That is what Kelly Kulick and Chris Barnes will be battling for. When we return, Randy breaks down our title match of the second major of the season. We flash back to 1984. Mike Durbin shocked the PBA world when he beat Mike Albee 246-183, winning his 3rd Tournament of Champions in a span of 12 years. He did it in 72, 82, and 84.
Once again, the winner of the Firestone Tournament of Champions is Mike Durbin.
Southpaw Jason Couch repeated that feat in 2002 by winning his 3rd TOC, becoming the only bowler to win back-to-back-to-back TOCs. Our coverage of history continues here from Las Vegas and Red Rock Lanes and Casino. Kelly Kulick, 1 win away from becoming the first woman to ever win on the PBA Tour. How did she get here? Let's find out, courtesy of the Geico Championship Recap. Randall.
Well, thanks, Rob. In match number 1, Mika Koivuniemi made it look so easy even a caveman could do it because he strung the last 7 to beat Rhino Page 255 to 215.
Great ball, buddy. Good luck the rest of the way.
And in our next match, you said it. How about a history lesson? Kelly Kulick gets up to the 10th frame. Goes bang, bang, bang. Takes down the Big Fin. Major Mika. 227 to 223. History in the making. Kelly Kulick trying to win a major.
Yes, a major.
Unbelievable.
Now, last week, Anthony Lacause won his first ever PBA tournament, and he said, the way things are working for him through the telecast, this is just the type of event that a guy like him could win. Are we seeing a similar thing today with Kelly Kulick?
We are. It has the same feel, doesn't it? I mean, that first shot that she threw that got wide and came back and struck in the 10th frame, man, it looked like it had no chance. It comes back, tickles the head pin. Yeah. She throws the next shot absolutely perfect, takes care of Mika. She's going to have her hands full with Chris Barnes. Chris Barnes made all the right moves this week. He started off slow, but once he got lined up, he was a locomotive. Kelly's going to have to bowl her absolute very best game to beat Chris Barnes in the title match.
And should she win, no one will say this one was handed off to her. She had to earn it. All right, time now for our one a day, more of what matters to you question of the day, and it goes to our friend Chris Barnes. It comes from Jeff Buckwalter, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Chris, what is your favorite PBA oil pattern and why?
That's a great question. Probably over the history, I've had the most success on the cheetah pattern, but in general, the majors patterns, stuff like the U.S. Open, the World Championship patterns have been my favorite patterns. They're a little more difficult, require more versatility. I think that plays to my strengths. Thanks for the question.
You're welcome. Good question coming away from Pennsylvania as Chris Barnes continues his warm-up right next to Kelly Kulick. Bowling uninterrupted when we return. Chris Barnes seeking his 3rd major versus Kelly Kulick, trying to become the first woman to ever win on the PBA Tour. The title match of the 2010 TOC next.
To stay on top of my game after 50, I switched to a complete multivitamin with more. Only one a day men's 50+ advantage has ginkgo for memory and concentration, plus support for heart health. That's a great call.
One a day men's.
Why do hardwood floors cost less at Lumber Liquidators? At most flooring stores, your floor makes a few stops before you get your order. Lumber Liquidators cuts out the middleman. Come on in. You'll find the quality hasn't been cut, just the prices. Like Bellawood, the premium pre-finished hardwood flooring from $2.99. Supreme bamboo flooring as low as $1.99 a square foot. Hurry in, these deals won't last. Visit lumberliquidators.com or call 1-800-HARDWOOD for a store near you.
I'd like the sirloin, chicken and pork too, all wrapped in bacon, and all for around $10.
Security! You can't match Golden Corral's Applewood Grill. It's sirloin, chicken breast, and our new scallops, all with Applewood bacon, all for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
Haiti's devastating earthquake has left as many as 100,000 dead and hundreds of thousands of children and families homeless and suffering. Save the Children is on the ground right now, providing immediate life-saving assistance, but we need your help. Your donation will help us provide urgently needed medical care, safe drinking water, food, and temporary shelters. Please call right now or donate online at SaveTheChildren.org to help save lives. Call or go online now. Every moment counts.
Hey neighbors, come on your phone for a conference call. My phone service doesn't include three-way calling.
We're eating dinner?
Oh, I don't mind. Hey, it's Adam.
It's hard to believe some people still don't have the Optimum Triple Play upgrade.
Hey neighbor, you mind emailing more photos off my memory stick? Slow internet.
Sure.
Faster internet and unlimited calling with lots of calling features included. Cable TV customers call 1-888-647-9309 and save hundreds.
Susie, 411 calls are free with Optimum Voice, right?
Right.
May I?
Add Optimum Online and Optimum Voice, and you can lower your cable TV bill too.
Hey neighbors, wake up! I need to download a movie. Sorry.
Get all 3 Optimum services for under $100 a month for a year.
Dude, you need the upgrade.
Kids. Cable TV customers get the Optimum Triple Play upgrade for your house. Call 1-888-647-9309 and save now.
And we are back live for the conclusion of the 2010 Tournament of Champions. Packed house here at Red Rock Lanes in Las Vegas, Nevada. And a lot of girl power in the crowd. Kelly Kulick will begin the title match versus Chris Barnes. And there is Kulick. Courtesy of the victory, 227-223 over Mika Koivuniemi. She has moved on to the title match. And this begins her effort to become the first woman to ever win on the PBA Tour.
An interesting strategy by Chris Barnes. He's your #1 seed. He gets choice of starting lane and position. He chooses to have Kelly Kulick start the match, which means Kelly will finish the match on the right lane. Some serious girl power there.
A 12-time winner on tour with 2 majors, the 2005 U.S. Open and the 2006 Tournament of Champions, the 7-8 PBA Player of the Year from Double Oak, Texas. Please welcome Chris Barnes.
So much of this broadcast has been spent talking about Kelly Kulick. Let's not forget about Chris Barnes. This is a Hall of Fame bowler, folks. And a guy who's well in the hunt for Player of the Year.
Wow.
Boy, this is not what you want to see or hear out of Chris Barnes if you're pulling for his camp. All the practice that he got prior to the start of this match, and then he throws that shot and comes back and goes, wow. I mean, there's a lot of indecision going on in the head of Chris Barnes right at this moment.
Cleans that one up and walks away from it. Time now for our Bear breakdown. #1 seed, Chris Barnes, taking on #2 seed, Kelly Kulick.
And there's been so many times when Chris has struggled on television. He struggled in title matches. Who can forget the 2008 Tournament of Champions where he had a 50-plus pin lead against Michael Halgan Jr., only to miss a 10-pin late and lose by a pin.
Ball change for Barnes, and it works on the left lane.
But there's also been times when he's been very, very good.
Kelly Kulick has been in pressure situations before. She has won 3 majors, the 03 Women's U.S. Open, the 07 Queens, and the 09 PBA Women's World Championship, which earned her berth here into the TOC. Even through 1.5.
It's just incredible.
First woman to ever compete here in the Tournament of Champions, the native of Union, New Jersey, with 3 major titles, 4-time member of Team USA. And what's on the line today? How about a 2-year exemption on the tour and a $40,000 check? So, not to get ahead of ourselves, Kelly, but should you win it, what are we going to do with that money? It's going to put down payment on a house, as her mom is in the crowd watching this one. 3 in a row.
Boy, the temperature in the building just went up about 15 degrees if you're Chris Barnes. His opponent off to a red-hot start with a 3-bagger, and his opponent just happens to be a woman.
Kulick has started both of her matches with strikes. She finds herself getting in a comfort zone immediately. Barnes, bottom of the 3rd, down 20. Leaned, but it wouldn't drop. Barnes cleans that one up. Chris Barnes, at the 2008 Tournament of Champions, blew a 52-pin lead and lost to Michael Haugen Jr. 215 to 214 in the same building. Talked at the outset, a lot of people trying to exercise some demons today. Rhino Page couldn't. Barnes trying. Oh boy.
Four, 6-10. We've seen this before from Chris, unfortunately.
An open frame for Chris Barnes.
I know we're only in the third frame for Kelly Kulick, but right now, she's got her eyes on $40,000 and a 2-year exemption and history.
An opening ham bone! And what a late kick. We talk every week, Randy, about the breaks going your way if you're going to win. That was an epic break for Kulick.
When it's your day, it's your day. It's been her week. She's been solid as a rock the entire event. And when you're throwing it good and you're making good shots, the pins know it, and they cooperate just like that. Trip 4 on a 3-bagger.
So Kulick steps up to open up the 5th, looking for 5 in a row to start her title match with Barnes. She leaves.
How is that even possible? All the great breaks, all the great shots she's thrown, and this happens? Boy, you want to talk about somebody getting the defibrillator out on Chris Barnes. That's what'll do it for you.
Takes care of the 7. First open frame of the day for Kelly Kulick.
And new life for Chris Barnes. Last 2 shots on right lane, both light. Barnes looking to make an adjustment and looking to get back in this match with a strike here in the 5th and another one in the 6th.
He has just 1 strike this title match. Came in the 2nd on the left lane. There's strike number 2, and momentum is a fickle mistress.
Nice.
Time now to fire up the RV. Go RVing on the road next week, just south of Los Angeles in the Orange County area, Fountain Valley, California, for the 1-a-day Dick Weber Open. Live coverage, 1 Eastern on ESPN2. I can't stress that enough. Next week, we're live on ESPN2. And then the following week, the Chris Paul PBA Celebrity Invitational. You can see that one Sunday, February 7th, 2 Eastern. Ludacris in the house for that show. Barnes in the 6th, leaves the 10. That hurt.
Yeah, that was brutal. Trying to get back into this match. Makes the adjustment on the right lane, catches a strike, looking to double up, only to leave a nasty ringing 10. Watch how fast the 6-pin goes around it. Still time, though. Cover the spare. He still has room to get into the 220s.
Well, Chris, what adjustments have you made since that kind of rough start for you?
Well, I had to move one right on the right lane. Obviously, it's a little bit wet dry, and so was the left lane. So I'm rolling it more up the back of it to move closer to the friction on both lanes, and we have to figure out where to strike.
Are you still in this one?
Absolutely.
Chris joining us via PBA Inside Angle. Here's Kulick, bottom of the 6th, after an open frame in the 5th. Strike number 5 of the final for Kulick.
She's feeling it. She's feeling it. Again, fearless. Doesn't matter who she's going up against. She's mowed the guys all week long. What a beautiful shot right here. Her biggest advantage right now, her ball speed.
How so?
It's reading the oil pattern perfectly. Yeah, but see where they're playing on the lanes. The rev rate higher for Chris Barnes, but slower ball speed equals about the same amount of hook for Kelly Kulick.
We begin the 7th. And there's a pair for Kulick. She lost the momentum, and now she's seizing it right back.
That puts Kelly Kulick back in the 220s. Chris Barnes, max score, 226. He would have to go off the sheet, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
He can do it. Strike number 3 for Barnes. It's going to be a slow process for him, but he's still alive.
The one thing that Kelly Kulick has not felt in this entire match,
ball change,
is pressure. Chris has not put any pressure on her. She's out there freewheeling, loosey-goosey in her own world. Chris can apply a little bit of pressure with a strike here in the 8th frame, or at least give her something to think about.
First 4 frames for Kulick, nothing but strikes. For Barnes, just 1 strike and an open frame. That set the tone early on. Here is Barnes as we begin the 8th, looking for his first double of the day. Comes at a great time. Barnes is back, people.
Now let's see how Kelly responds. For the first time in this title match, with everything on the line, Chris Barnes just applied a little bit of pressure. Just a little.
Not dead yet.
Make a good shot.
Rob Stone history right around the corner. One more strike in the 9th frame, and any kind of good count in the 10th frame, Kelly Kulick is going to win the Tournament of Champions.
She had 8 strikes in her win over Mika Koivuniemi, 7 already here.
Biggest shot of her career right here, right now.
And for women's sports in general.
Haven't seen one of those before.
Kelly Kulick.
That one didn't matter very much, though.
Is your winner. 2010 Tournament of Champions.
She just did the math. And it's starting to set in. Kelly Kulick has become the first woman to ever win on the PBA Tour. Oprah, what are you doing this week? You need somebody to book? Let me get you Kelly's digits.
I mean, truly an amazing performance all week long. And then today, she left the pocket 7-10 in the 5th frame. Otherwise, she would have the front 9 in a row in the title match of a major.
Not just any event, a major. And you can see her right now just trying to fight it. You know, the PBA has been blessed with wonderful storylines this year. Tom Smallwood, laid off by General Motors, wins this year of the first major, and now Carol Kulick can see her daughter Kelly in the 2nd major of the season, the first woman to ever win on the PBA Tour. There are not going to be too many dry eyes here in a few moments. Chris Barnes was joking with us yesterday, saying, you know, if anybody here can handle losing to a woman, it's me. I get beat regularly by my wife, Linda.
Well, and, you know, with the exception of the split in the 4th frame, Chris Barnes has not missed the pocket in the last 6 frames. He's got 1 double.
All right, thanks.
He finishes with a 195. And now history steps up for the applause and the pop she has earned and deserved. Kelly has done it. Let's see if she can do it with more strikes. How about 5 in a row? How about that, America? Stand up! Why not? Why not? Does it get any better? Honestly.
History has been made in the world of sports.
She came to Vegas and put a whooping on the boys.
Great job all week. Handled it fantastically.
Thank you very much.
Hope you enjoyed history. And it will continue when we return.
God bless you, man.
We will hear Kelly Kulick, the first woman to ever win on the PBA Tour, when we return.
To stay on top.
The PBA Tournament of Champions is brought to you by Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By Go RV, visit GoRV.com for a free video. Go affordably, Go RV. And by One A Day Men's 50+ Advantage, the multivitamin with more of what matters. We welcome you back to the Tournament of Champions in Las Vegas. Kelly Kulick came into the week saying, my attitude is nothing to lose. Well, now she has won, and the ramifications are endless for her and for the sport in general. Kulick was dominant from the beginning, opened up with 4 strikes, and closed on a tear, striking in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and twice in the 10th en route to a commanding 70-pin win over the #1 seed, Chris Barnes. Kelly Kulick, downstairs live with Randy Peterson.
Well, Rob, for the first time in a long time, I'm actually almost speechless. Kelly, I've done a lot of bowling. I've seen a lot of bowling. That may have been the best performance I've ever seen given the circumstances. Describe what this day means to you.
This day will never be forgotten. I will come back and think of this moment over and over again in my career, throughout my lifetime, and that my mom was here to witness it, and all these great fans. It's by far the greatest accomplishment ever in my career.
Was there a point during that title match against Chris Barnes where you felt that you were going to win this tournament?
After the 7-10 split, I came back and I doubled right away. So that put me right back in that confident level again. And I knew, again, if I could just get the ball off my hand, make good shots, see what the lane was doing, the rest, I bowled the pins. I didn't bowl Chris. I really bowled against the pins today.
How were you able to just get up there and just make shot after shot? You made every shot look so perfect.
I really couldn't feel my legs getting to the foul line. So I really think that the adrenaline, the nerves, just having the confidence in myself to be in this moment right now has led me to this victory today.
And what does it mean now to have a 2-year exemption to get back out on tour full time?
I forgot all about it. I can't wait to compete against these men again. I just want to keep this ride going as long as I can. And that magic carpet that you said, it just keeps flying higher and higher.
Well, you've proved that you can compete against anybody. Congratulations, Kelly. Great job.
Hey, Billie Jean King, we got somebody we want you to meet.
Thank you so much. He was wonderful this week. To the fans here in Las Vegas, it was the best crowd, and that gave me the energy to be here. Thank you, PBA, USBC. But Ebonite, mission accomplished.
Wow, it's going to be tough to top this week, but we're going to give it our best next week at the one-a-day Dick Weber Open. Coming your way live from the Fountain Bowl in Fountain Valley, California. Again, live coverage on ESPN2 next Sunday at 1 Eastern. Again, ESPN2. Kelly Kulick, the history maker, the first woman to ever win the PBA Tour. Congratulations to Kelly. For Randy Peterson and our entire crew, I'm Rob Stone. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. We'll see you next week, 1 Eastern on ESPN2, but for now, it is all about Double K, Kelly Kulick. Coming up next, the PBA All